more information will be shared with you in the end of this class. So now let's finally start preparing the Basque cheesecake. To make it perfectly, you need to follow a few simple steps. First of all, you need to have a foolproof recipe. You can already have it. You can download it from the handouts section of this webinar room. Then select the best ingredients you can find, especially the cream cheese. Then make the cheesecake mass properly. I'll share with you all the secrets in the video, and then bake it properly. Again, I will share with you all the secrets in the video so that you have no doubts about preparing the Basque cheesecake perfectly. So one more time, please make sure you download the foolproof recipe of the Basque cheesecake from the handout section of this webinar room. And now let's get down to the practical part. First of all, you will watch a video on making the cheesecake mass. It is going to be held the following way. I will turn the camera off, the microphone too. We'll turn the video on, you will enjoy it, and then once it is over, I'll come back to you and we're going to discuss it. I'll answer all your questions. Let's start. Now let's start the preparation of the Basque cheesecake. This cheesecake recipe is peculiar because it involves a very simple technique, very simple process, basic ingredients, but the outcome is outstanding. It became world famous thanks to its really dark surface and characteristic creamy texture. So to obtain this texture, to obtain this Basque cheesecake flavor, we need the following components. First of all, the quality cream cheese. I'm using full-fat original cream cheese, which is rather thick, but you can also use the regular spreadable version, which is available in any supermarket, and your cheesecake will be delicious. It will also have a creamy texture, but the cream cheese flavor will be slightly inferior compared to the cheesecake made with the original cream cheese. I'm using the cream cheese of Cremette brand, but you can use any type of cream cheese which is available, like Philadelphia or whatever you prefer. Then I have the cornstarch a little bit to help stabilize the texture. Then the sifted ice and sugar. I'm using ice and sugar, not the regular granulated sugar in this recipe, to create a creamier texture, but sugar can be used as well. Then the room temperature whole eggs. It is important to have all ingredients at room temperature to make sure that they combine better and we have a really fluid texture of the cheesecake mass. Then the whipping cream, also room temperature, and a little bit of sea salt to balance the sweetness of the cheesecake. Finally, I have a vanilla pod to add some flavor to the cheesecake. We're gonna have it with vanilla. So first of all, I would like to mention that this cheesecake can be prepared in the food processor. You'll need to simply put all the ingredients in the food processor, turn it on, mix until everything is combined on low speed, and that's it. But if you don't have the food processor, then you can make this cheesecake in a regular stand mixer or even by hand. Now I'll show you how to make it. So first of all, I'll need to put the cream cheese and the ice and sugar in the bowl of a stand mixer. The cream cheese is here. Now I add the ice and sugar. And now I'll mix everything with the paddle attachment on low speed until combined and slightly liquefied. After about a minute of mixing, the cream cheese has softened, and now I can proceed to the next step. Now I'll split the vanilla pod in half and we'll add the seeds of it into the cream cheese and ice and sugar mixture. Like this, the vanilla seeds go inside. Then I need to combine the rest of the components. First, I'll mix the cornstarch with a little bit of whipping cream to make sure I have no lumps. To do this, I'll use a separate mixing bowl. So first I put the cornstarch inside. Then I add a little bit of whipping cream. And I mix everything well with a whisk. Okay, so now when I'm sure there are no lumps of cornstarch inside this mixture, I'll add the rest of the whipping cream, the eggs, and the salt. We'll mix everything well, and then I'll be able to add this mixture gradually to the cream cheese, ice and sugar, and vanilla. So now when everything is mixed, I can start adding the whipping cream, eggs and salt mixture to the cream cheese, ice and sugar and vanilla. I'll turn the mixer on low speed. There is no need to whip anything, otherwise the cheesecake might crack on the surface. I'll be adding the mixture gradually, making sure that this mixture is incorporated well. I'll scrape the sides occasionally as well to ensure the mixture is super smooth and homogeneous. After a few minutes of mixing and after all the egg and whipping cream and salt mixture has been added to the cream cheese, our cheesecake mousse is ready. I'll show you the way it has to look like at this point. It has to be rather liquid, like this, and it also should be very smooth and shiny. Perfect. There should be no lumps, no pieces of cream cheese, nothing like this. If you notice any, you can do the following. You can take a strainer, strain this mixture, and like this, you'll be sure that it is super smooth, completely lump-free, and ready to bake. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm ready to answer your questions since the first video is over. Let me find the first one and we're gonna start. Okay, question 1. 35% whipping cream can be substituted with 30%. In India, 35% is not available. Yes, it can be. You can use 30% whipping cream, but you need to add a bit less of it since you are adding more water. 30% whipping cream means that it contains 30% fat and 70% liquid. Basically, your cheesecake will contain more moisture, and it might not be setting as good as with 35% whipping cream. So, if you're using 30% whipping cream, you need to add a bit less of it. Can I use vanilla extract instead of a pond? Yes, absolutely. It's not a crime. You can use the vanilla extract. No problem. Feel free to use about 20 grams per 1 kg of the cheesecake mass mixture, but you can also use more if you wish. Were the cream cheese and eggs at room temperature? Yes, it is better to use them at room temperature, but you can also use them cold, but make sure you mix them really, really well so that they combine properly, so the texture is smooth and lump-free. You can pass the mixture through a sieve if you wish, but making sure that your ingredients are room temperature will facilitate the mixing process. Can we substitute whipping cream with cooking cream? Yes, provided it is about 30-35% fat. Is whipping cream sweet? No, it is not. Can I use rubber coupe to mix all? Yes, you can. It is much easier, but since not everybody has the rubber coupe at home, but many people have the stand mixer. We made a video with the stand mixer. You can also make this cheesecake by hand, no problem. You need a whisk, a bit of patience, and that's it. Can I substitute the cream cheese with mascarpone? Yes, you can, but the flavor will be inferior. And I think that with mascarpone, the aftertaste, the mouthfeel is a bit greasier. There is too much fat in the mascarpone compared to cream cheese. Not too much, but a bit more, which will affect the texture. It will not be disgusting. It will be still good, delicious, but I prefer the one which is made with cream cheese. Why use cornstarch instead of all-purpose flour or cake flour? Also, how much sugar can I reduce? Well, the reason I'm using cornstarch instead of any other type of thickener here is because of its mild flavor. You will not feel the cornstarch flavor in the cheesecake, while you might feel the floury aftertaste if you're using the flour. Secondly, the cornstarch will give me the creamy texture. The cheesecake is basically a custard, which is cooked in the oven and which uses cream cheese instead of milk or whipping cream. It can be baked without any starch, without any thickener, with eggs only or egg yolks. But for a slightly firmer texture and a cleaner cut, I use a bit of cornstarch. I find it perfect for applications like pastry cream, custard, or cheesecake. Regarding the sugar, you can decrease the sugar level as low as you wish. It will not affect the texture too much. What is the shelf life of your recipe? The cheesecake will not last longer than 48 hours in the fridge. Is there a difference using powdered sugar versus regular white sugar in this recipe? Not too much difference. You can use the regular sugar in the recipe, but make sure it is super fine, because the cheesecake is baked for a relatively short period of time, and the sugar crystals might not have time to dissolve. So this is why I'm using powdered sugar. Plus, it will give a slightly creamier texture, which melts in the mouth faster. I have the vanilla paste. How much of it is equal to 1 pound? Since each paste is different, depending on the manufacturer, I cannot tell you. Normally, vanilla paste is super concentrated, and you need about 4 grams, 5 grams to replace the vanilla part. But it depends. Does cream cheese and whipping cream should be room temperature? Yes, preferably. Do you have any eggless substitutes? No, I've never tried to make the Basque cheesecake without the eggs, so I cannot give you an advice on it. What's different? What is the difference between icing sugar and powdered sugar? No difference, same product, but 2 different names. Can I use other type of cream, other type of cheese? What's the recommendation? Well, you can use, well, I still recommend using cream cheese. You can stick with a different brand, not the Philadelphia, not the cremetta cream cheese, but select the one which is firm, which is slightly salty, and the flavor of which you enjoy. That's it. Those are the criteria that I use. Is your cream cheese already a bit salty like Philadelphia? Yes, I'm using the one which is slightly salty and which has a firm texture. I'm using the cremetta cream cheese. I will type in the comment section. The one I like, I also like, it is called Neuf Châtel cream cheese. I'm not sure about the correct spelling, but take a look. Try searching on the internet of such cream cheese in your area. It is really good. It is slightly different to Philadelphia, but I like its texture and its flavor is really nice. It has a slightly caramel aroma. It is really good. Okay, what else? Can we add more sugar? Yes, why not? Can you add chocolate to this mixture? If so, how much chocolate to add? Yes, you can. Regarding the quantity, it is up to you. I would say about 12% will be okay, maybe a bit more. But I would, if I was asked to make, if I was asked to make the chocolate Basque cheesecake, I would use both the cocoa powder and the melted chocolate. If I want to make a different flavor like chocolate or matcha, how much should I add, and do I need to cut down other ingredients? So if you want to make the matcha one, there is no need to change anything. You simply add matcha inside and that's it. I would say 1% of matcha is enough to give the flavor and the color, but you need to try. Maybe you need even less than 1% of matcha in the total recipe. Regarding the chocolate, as I said before, it's about 12%, and replace the cornstarch with cocoa powder. Why not potato starch? Cornstarch gives a creamier texture compared to potato starch. This is the only reason, and this is the starch we normally use in custards, in pastry cream, so this is why. Okay guys, I see no more questions left, which means we can move on to the next video. Video number 2, baking the Basque cheesecake. So now I have everything ready to bake the Basque cheesecake. To do this, I'll be using the cake ring. It has 18 centimeters in diameter and 6 centimeters in height. I'll bake it on a regular tray with silicone mat. You can use parchment paper if you wish. And to line the cake ring, I will use the regular parchment paper. The reason I'm using the one which is slightly brown is because it simply looks a bit more elegant and a bit more rustic. So I'll use this parchment paper to put inside the cake ring. I'll put layer 1 first. So when you line the cake ring with parchment paper, the idea is to have the sharp edge between the sides and the bottom part. So make sure you press with your fingers well in the connection between the sides of the cake ring and the bottom part of the tray. Then I'll put the second layer of parchment paper to create more ruffles and to make the cheesecake look a bit more elegant. Now using scissors, I'll remove the excess of parchment so it does not burn in the oven. Now when the cake ring is prepared and lined with parchment paper, I will pour the cheesecake mass inside. Now the cheesecake is ready to be baked. I'll do this in the oven, which is preheated to 250 degrees Celsius. The baking time is about 15 minutes. I'm baking it with the fan on, maximum fan. If you don't have the fan in your oven, then I recommend setting the temperature even higher, like 20 degrees higher, and checking the doneness of the cheesecake. The peculiarity of this cheesecake is the high baking temperature and short baking time. Like this, it will expand in the oven slightly. Its surface will be rather dark, but the interior will be super creamy and smooth. It is important not to overbake this cheesecake, otherwise it will be the same texture as the regular one, not that peculiar, not that interesting. So I recommend you checking the doneness of the cheesecake from time to time, observing its appearance, so that you can understand when it's ready and take it out at the proper time. I'll show you how to understand when it's ready. I'll show you how to determine its perfect doneness, so that you can do this at home in your own oven without any problem. After 15 minutes in the oven, the cheesecake is ready. To check whether it's done or not, first you need to observe the color on the surface, and secondly, it has to be really liquid. As you can see, in the center it is super liquid now. It is perfect, this is the way it has to be. Now, I'll leave the cheesecake to cool down completely at room temperature first. It will take about 2 hours, and then I'll transfer it in the fridge. Such step-by-step cooling will ensure that we have no cracks on the surface, and like this the cheesecake will look beautiful. Alternatively, you can check the doneness of the cheesecake by inserting the probe thermometer. The internal temperature has to be around 70 degrees Celsius. If it is like this, the cheesecake is properly baked. After about 2 hours at room temperature, the Basque cheesecake has cooled down completely, and now I can put it in the fridge. But first, I would like to show you the way it looks now. As you can see, it has deflated slightly in the center. It is just the way it has to be. Its surface is really beautiful and shiny, and it still jiggles slightly in the center. It is perfect now. I'll put it in the fridge for about 6 hours. Overnight is better. It will cool down completely. It will set, but the center will still be creamy and delicate. After a night in the fridge, it is time to unmold the Basque cheesecake. So it should unmold really easily. You need to slide the cake ring out of it, and that's it. Now I'll transfer it onto the cake board, and it is ready to serve. My Basque cheesecake has sat in the fridge. Now it is ready to serve. Before cutting, let's take off the parchment paper and have a look at its mouth-watering sides. Its rustic burnt surface and baked sides make the cheesecake delicious and appealing. It's you choose how well you want the surface of the cheesecake to be baked. Personally, I avoid too many burnt areas. I prefer the surface to be golden brown. Let's cut the cheesecake and enjoy the texture. A well-baked Basque cheesecake has a firmer texture towards the edge and a creamier texture towards the center. Beautiful. Both textures are clearly visible here. Let me try a piece. The cheesecake has a super creamy center and the edge is deliciously firm. It has a tender baked cheese flavor, and I'm sure that you will love it. As you have seen, the Basque cheesecake is very simple and quick to make. It is a delicious treat for any occasion. Take all the tips you've learned from my class and enjoy this world-famous pastry. Okay, guys, I'm back. The last video is over. Now you've learned how to make the Boston cheesecake. Let me see if you have any questions. Okay. Hello, many thanks for the event despite the circumstances. The fun fact is that we have the air raid siren just now. But it is okay. I'm in the safe place, so it's fine. So my question is, what are the flavors would work in this cheesecake? What about citrus? Yes, why not? I think that orange or lemon or maybe even a mixture of different, the bergamot would work fantastic. So why not? You can add both the juice and the zest. Obviously, the juice will not give you the flavor. The zest only will work for this. So yes, you can play with flavors, no problem. Chocolate is nice, matcha is fine, caramel will work perfectly here. So this is a basic recipe and you can twist it in the way you prefer. Can we freeze it? Yes, you can. The texture will be damaged slightly, but it will still be good. If my oven maximum temperature is 230, how should I bake the cheesecake? You should bake it the same way, but slightly longer. You can check the doneness using the probe thermometer. As you've seen in the video, I use such method as well to make sure it is perfect every time. You'll need about 5 minutes more, maybe slightly less, depending on your oven in general, on the way it bakes, but I suppose that about 5 minutes more will be okay. I'm sorry, I had a doubt from the previous sessions. What's the difference between a crema and a mousse? Mousse is light and airy. Crema is dense and creamy. That's it. Crema cannot be airy. Can you please repeat the amount of chocolate for the chocolate flavor? It is up to you, but I would start with about 12% of chocolate in the total recipe and replace the cornstarch with cocoa powder. Can you repeat the name of the caramel aroma cream cheese? I will type in the comments section. It is called Neufchâtel cream cheese. Okay. What else? Could we use pounded erythritol in the recipe? Yes, you can. Isn't decorating the Boston cheesecake allowed? If this can be done, what should suit here? Well, nobody can, you know, restrict you from decorating the cheesecake the way you wish. It is not. It is not prohibited. You can do it. I would say that fresh berries, a little bit of whipped cream, will work fine here. How many portions are there in this recipe? I would say about 6 portions. May I use mascarpone? Yes, you can use it, but I don't really like the mouthfeel of the cheesecake with the mascarpone. It's a bit on the greasy side. After cooling at room temperature, can we freeze it? Yes, you can. Can lemon be added with zest? If so, how much? It is up to you. You can add as much lemon juice as you wish, but you need to reduce the amount of whipping cream in the recipe. Do I need to reduce the sugar if I add chocolate to the cheesecake? Depending on the type of chocolate, but yes, you need to play with the sweetness. If you add chocolate, you will add sugar as well, because chocolate contains sugar. So you'll need to balance the sweetness of the chocolate with the quantity of the sugar that you already have in the recipe. How long out of the fridge before serving? You serve it straight away. Serve it cold. I prefer it straight from the fridge, but it is up to you. It can be out for up to 2 hours, um, and then it should be put back in the fridge. Can I make the cheesecake in a pan but not in a ring? Yes, sure. Can I use a cake ring higher than 6 centimeters? Will it affect the baking? Will the cheesecake bake the same? And if the diameter is bigger, smaller, will it affect the total baking time? Can you please also elaborate on the shelf life? 48 hours in the fridge and that's it? Can anything be done to make it last longer? Let's say a week at least. um, well, let's start answering the questions because there are many. So first, can I use a cake ring higher than 6 centimeters? Yes, you can, but it will affect the baking time. And if you change the size of the cheesecake, the baking time will be different. If you bake a bigger cheesecake, the baking time will be longer. If you bake a small one, the baking time will be shorter, and you can bake it at a higher temperature. So the perfect way to determine the doneness of the cheesecake is to use a probe thermometer. You put it in the center. If the reading is what I mentioned in the video, 70 degrees Celsius, it's ready. You can take it out of the oven. Regarding the shell, okay, diameter is big or small, but okay, I've answered this already. Regarding the shelf life, cheesecakes contain eggs, they contain dairy, and such products cannot last long. What you can do is adding the preservatives into the recipe, like it is called potassium sorbate, something like this. It will allow you to store the cheesecake in the fridge for up to 5-6 days maximum, but not longer. If you wish to store it longer, you can freeze it and then defrost when needed. Like this, it will work perfectly. But products with dairy inside, with eggs inside, and lots of humidity cannot last that long without preservatives, without special ways of treating those products. There is no option. If the oven is without fan, how much higher would you recommend to go with the temperature? It depends on the oven a lot. I would say that 15 degrees higher for the start, and then you should observe the way it bakes and maybe rotate the tray, change the position. So it depends on the oven a lot. Can you freeze it and then defrost? Will it affect the taste? It will not affect the taste, but the texture. It will be inferior to the one which is not frozen, but it will still be okay. What is the best way to flavor this cheesecake with citrus? You add the zest, and that's it. And you bake it with the zest inside. Also, if decorating it with citrus slices, is it allowed to cut them with the zest? Nobody can, nobody can ban the process of cutting the citrus with the zest. You can do as you wish. It is allowed. It is not prohibited. So make sure it is washed. It is washed well, and then you can slice it the way you wish. What is the key step to keep the consistency creamy after cooked? I've never been able to achieve this. Well, if you're talking about the Basque cheesecake, it is easy. You bake it properly with if the temperature inside is 70, you let it cool down at room temperature and you put it in the fridge. That's it. It will be creamy, perfectly baked. If I bake at home in the past, If I bake it at home in the past, so short, it was still fluid after cooling down and did not set. What was wrong? It was underbaked. You should have cooked it longer. It's a tricky thing with the Boston cheesecake. Sometimes it seems like it is okay. Like the top part is already like dark enough and you want to take it out, but it is, and then you leave it to cool down, then we put it in the fridge and then it does not set. It means that you have underbaked it and the center did not reach the proper temperature. That's it. You should have baked it longer. This is why I recommend using Pro thermometer. Do we need to wrap it if you keep it in the fridge? No need to. It is okay to put it in a container and that's it. If 2 hours rested, should it firm up? Well, it will firm up slightly at room temperature, but then you need to place it in the fridge. We don't have parchment paper in our country. Do you have any idea? You can use what else? You can skip the parchment paper, but then to unmold the cheesecake, you'll need to freeze it. You can try using foil, it will work, but you should be careful when peeling off the aluminium foil from the cheesecake. Can we bake it in mini single portions? Yes, you can, but it's really tricky. You need to play with time and temperature, but yes, it is possible. What is the substitute for eggs? No idea. I've never tried making bus cheesecake without the eggs. Is it okay to use a cake ring with 8 centimeters height? Yes, it is okay. What if it's not 70 degrees after 15 minutes? You need to bake it longer. Can we freeze this cheesecake? Yes, you can. Baking for 15 minutes at what temperature? At the temperature mentioned in the video, it's 240 or 50 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure. Let me check the recipe. It should be written in the recipe. It's 250 for 15 minutes. But it depends on the oven a lot. After 15 minutes in your oven at 250, it might not be ready, so you need to check with the probe thermometer. Can we make this recipe in a keto version or sugar-free? I don't know what keto version is. I don't know what the requirements are. Regarding the sugar-free version, yes, it is possible. You can use maltitol, you can use erythritol as a sugar substitute, and it will work. In case we have a normal oven without fan, what temperature do we have to bake it at? About 15 degrees higher than mentioned in the video, but if your oven has 250 degrees Celsius maximum, then go for it. Maybe you'll need slightly more time for it to be baked properly. Can I use 38% heavy cream? Yes, sure. Will I need to change the amount? The difference is really small, so no need to. But if you want to be super precise and accurate, then yes, it is better to make the calculation and to use a bit more of it. How to avoid water condensation on the plastic wrap while cooling it in the fridge? Do not put the plastic wrap, put it without it, and there will be no condensation. How high do you fill the filling? About 1 centimeter to the edge? Yes, about that. My temperature of oven has only 230. What time should I bake? It will take more than 15 minutes, I think. But again, since all ovens are different, you need to check with the probe thermometer from time to time. That's it. Once the middle part reaches 70, it's done. Can I cook this version of the cheesecake without the paper? Would that be undesirable? It will be more difficult to unmold it, but yes, it is possible. You'll need to freeze it to unmold. Okay. So far, all the questions have been answered. I don't see more, which means I have a question for you. It is time that I ask the questions. Are you going to make the bus cheesecake? Please type plus to the comment section if yes. If you're going to use my recipe, if you're going to use my instructions, my tips to make this fantastic Basque cheesecake at home. I still see some questions. What about the matcha ratio? I told you that it's about 1% in the total recipe, but it depends on how strong you love the matcha. How do you add the caramel? Do you need to reduce something? You can caramelize the sugar separately, then leave it to cool down, grind it into caramel powder, and add the caramel powder to the cheesecake. Can we have the recipe? Yes, you can. Have you ever baked this with a thin crust around the bottom and the sides? If so, how would you go around it? No, I've never tried baking the cheesecake like this with the crust underneath or on the sides, but it will be fine. You need to pre-bake it, otherwise it will be soggy, and that's it. Okay, I see lots of pluses. I don't see any more questions, which is great. It means that, okay, I see some questions. Cool. I need to answer them. If it's not 70, keep baking on 250 or less. It depends on how dark the surface is. If it is really, really dark already, then you can decrease the temperature slightly and continue baking for a few more minutes. If the top part, the crust is still okay, then you can continue baking on 250. Won't the ice and sugar plus cornstarch make it too creamy? Will we be able to serve stable slices? I've used cake flour and Basque, but not corn flour plus ice and sugar. Well, ice and sugar is just sugar. It will melt, and that's it. It does not really matter which type of sugar you use in this particular case. Regarding the cornstarch, it will help you to firm up the cheesecake since it will jellify in the oven when you bake it. So it will firm up and you will be able to slice it. The firmness of the cheesecake depends on how long you bake it. If it's 70, 72 inside, it will be perfect. Is there a difference in baking on a silicon mat and spring form pan? No difference. How much pumpkin should I add for full baking? Replace the whipping cream with pumpkin puree, and that's it. Can I use camembert or brie? You can try, but not the full portion. Like use half, remove half of the cream cheese and add the camembert. Half the recipe would be in a 16 centimeter ring. I cannot tell you right now because I need to make the calculations, but you can make the calculations yourself. It is easy. You need to calculate the volume of the mold in the recipe and then calculate the volume of the mold you want to use, and then find the conversion factor and multiply the recipe on that conversion factor. Can I double the recipe? Would you reduce the amount of eggs? Yes, you can double the recipe. No, I would not reduce the amount of eggs. Do you remove the paper to serve it? And do I remove it completely? Well, you can serve it with paper if you wish, but I remove it and serve it like it is, without the paper. Can we use Thermomix? If yes, what speed and time? Yes, you can use the Thermomix. It's medium speed. Time until it is like homogeneous, until it is smooth. And that's it. I cannot tell you the time. Your Basque cheesecake center is very soft. This is the way I like it. I like it to be creamy. But as you can see, I can slice it without any problem. And it can stay on the plate without moving. So this is the way I like it. If you wish, you can bake it firmer. It will be firmer, but this is the way I prefer. This is the way it is in the picture and the PDF recipe. Okay, guys. I saw lots of comments that you're going to make the Basque cheesecake using my recipe. In addition to this Basque cheesecake class, I have 5 more stunning cheesecake online masterclasses for you. Here they are: the raspberry mojito cheesecake, which consists of the shortbread base with coconut, the no-bake cheesecake mousse, and the whipped raspberry jelly on top. The wonderful component, which is super easy to make, but which has an outstanding texture. Then the speculoos cheesecake with the speculoos cheesecake base, baked cheesecake mass with speculoos inside, the salted caramel on top, and the chantilly cream flavored with the caramel. Fantastic combination. It's the favorite cheesecake of our Academy's team, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it a lot. Then the classic, let's say it's a classic New York cheesecake, but in a different shape, a bit more refined. It consists of the classic shortbread base, the baked vanilla cheesecake mass, the strawberry jelly, super clear, delicate, and the vanilla chantilly cream to decorate it. One more cheesecake, the cappuccino, with the combination of the chocolate and classic shortbread in the crust, the baked cheesecake mass with coffee, the special milk chocolate ganache, which is baked in the crust, the special ganache for baking, and the chantilly cream with coffee to decorate the cheesecake. And the 5th cheesecake, the hazelnut one, with the shortbread base with hazelnuts, the baked cheesecake mass with hazelnut praline, the vanilla chantilly cream, and the hazelnut praline with candied hazelnuts as a decoration. Please type in the comment section which of these cheesecakes from this online course would you like to make first. Type 1 for the raspberry mojito, type 2 for the speculoos, type 3 for the strawberry heart, type 4 for the cappuccino, and type 5 for the hazelnut cheesecake. Let's see. Personally, I would choose the strawberry heart because I like the combination of vanilla and strawberries. It's a nice combination. It's classic flavor, and this cheesecake is really tender and really nice in terms of texture and flavor combination. My second favorite is raspberry mojito. Let's see. Let's have a look at your answers. There are lots of number 1s. Raspberry mojito, good choice. What else? Number 4, the cappuccino. Number 2, well, there are so many answers that I cannot tell which is the most favorite. So far, I've seen lots of number 4, which means that you enjoy the combination of chocolate and coffee. And there are lots of number 2 answers as well. Speculoos looks interesting for you as well. Great. So I've compiled these masterclasses into an online course, which is called 5 Best Cheesecakes in Your Kitchen 3.0. And after taking this course with support from my instructors team, you will definitely become a master of baked and no-bake cheesecakes. This course will be perfect for pastry beginners, pastry enthusiasts, pastry entrepreneurs, for everyone who's looking to progress their theoretical and practical skills in making baked and no-bake cheesecakes. Step by step, you will learn how to make baked and no-bake cheesecakes with neat and smooth surface without any cracks. You will make 5 perfect shortbread bases that contribute not only to a neat presentation, but also to a well-balanced, crunchy cheesecake flavor and texture. You will make other components to complement the flavor and the texture of the cheesecake, like caramel, jelly, praline, chantilly cream, and so on, so that your cheesecake stand out, so that the texture of the baked or no-bake cheesecake mass is complemented and enhanced by other components. So what is included into the course? Step-by-step video classes in which I explain all the cooking process, all the nuances, all the little details of preparation, assembling, and decorating the cheesecakes. Then 5 foolproof step-by-step recipes in downloadable PDF format that you can keep forever, print for convenience, and use the way you wish. My pastry team instructors support. These people will be guiding you throughout the course, will be answering all your questions, and they will be making sure that you definitely succeed in making cheesecakes that you no fail, and your cheesecakes look exactly like mine or even better. Then this certification is included into the course. On completion of your homework, on successful completion of all the homework, you'll get a certificate from us. The course will be conducted the following way. First week is the preparation week. You order all the necessary ingredients, prepare the equipment. Then every week we unlock one class for you to access. You take each class weekly. During the period of instructor support, 1 week for each pastry. In total, you're going to have 8 weeks. And the access to the course materials is 12 months, 1 year of access to all the materials of the course. When you've mastered the cheesecake, you take 2 pictures of it and send those 2 pictures to instructors of our academy, who review those pictures and give you the feedback and approval. They'll give you the feedback on the overall presentation and the cross-section of the cake. And they'll give you some tips and advice on how to improve, how to make your products better. And if you successfully submit all pastry products, all the cheesecakes on time, you will obtain the certificate on successful completion of the course that you can use to prove your skills with. So I have created this course on cheesecakes, 5 best cheesecakes in your kitchen 3.0, so that everyone is able to learn how to make beautiful, gorgeous cheesecakes in their own kitchen with pleasure and without wasting too much time, without too many efforts and too much wasted money. To build my online cheesecake course, I've prepared over 200 cheesecakes. I've made lots of them. And me and my team, we've tried to find the best recipes, best combinations, best textures, so that people from all over the world can enjoy. And now you have them in one online course. I've spent more than 800 hours in the kitchen developing all those recipes to perfection, testing, baking them, trying, tweaking, changing. So now you have perfect foolproof recipes that you can use in any kitchen. And I've spent more than $5,000 on different ingredients to create something new, something unique, something interesting for you. Making cheesecakes without proven techniques is like playing a game of roulette. You will never be sure of the outcome. So now I would like to announce the price of the 5 best cheesecakes course. the full price of it is $300. But what if I told you that in addition to making 5 amazing cheesecakes that I included into this course, you could learn how to make 3 more delicious pastries for free? Those will be 3 delicious tarts. Tart number 1 is the creme brulee tart. The full price of this video recipe is $50. You will learn how to make the hazelnut short crust dough, how to make it properly, how to line the tart shell, how to bake it in a nice way so that it does not, stick to the ring, so it does not collapse. Then you learn how to make the special grapefruit mirliton dough, the orange creme brulee, and the Italian meringue with lime to make this preparation a bit balanced in terms of sweet and sour notes. Then one more tart is the chocolate tart. The full price of it is $50 as well. You will learn how to make the short crust dough with hazelnuts, the gluten-free chocolate sponge, which has no flour inside. Then the crunchy layer, the ganache with tonka beans, and the special technique to make your tarts shiny and protect them from moisture. Then one more tart that you will learn for free, but the full price of this recipe is $50, is the roasted bell pepper and ricotta tart. In this video masterclass, you learn how to make the puff pastry, then put it into the tart shell and bake it in a neat way. Then you learn how to make the special baked cream. It's like salted cheesecake with ricotta and roasted bell peppers as a decoration. The full price of this class is $50, but it can be used completely free. So the total value of those 3 classes on tarts is $150. And in combination with the course on 5 best cheesecakes, the total value of everything is $450. But as I told you before, you are getting the tart masterclasses for free. So basically, you are paying $300 instead of $450. But this is not all. I know that quality training, especially in pastry, is really pricey. I know it from my personal experience. I've studied abroad, I've studied in France, and I know that I wasted not wasted, but I've spent lots of money on that education. Yes, it was not cheap. And honestly, in modern world, I don't think that is acceptable anymore. So for this reason, I've prepared a group discount for you, which means that all the people who are watching me live now can join my 5 best cheesecakes in your kitchen 3.0 course at the best price. So the best price is the following. You are getting 67% group discount. All the people who are watching me live now, all the people who joined this webinar will get 67% group discount, which will be valid for 24 hours. And you will be able to get all the materials that I mentioned for $99 only. So 67% discount and the 5 best cheesecakes in your kitchen 3.0, 5 recipes with video, with instructor support, plus 3 more recipes on tarts will be yours for $99 only instead of $450. And this is not all. There is one more gift for the most determined cheesecake lovers. Here it is, the Oreo cheesecake online masterclass, the full price of which is $50. You can get it if you make a purchase, if you join our online course on cheesecakes by the end of this live webinar, of this live class. So in total, the total value of all the discounts, all the bonuses, all the classes is $500. The price of the 5 cheesecakes course is $300. Then the price for the 3 tarts masterclasses is $150 plus $50 more is the price of the Oreo cheesecake class. But you can get all this with 80% discount for $99 only. So to benefit from this offer, you need to do the following. It's very simple. You need to click on the icon Buy Now, which should have just appeared on your screen. On the bottom left part, there is a pop-up section. You click on Buy Now button, you'll be redirected to our website. You need to click on the icon Buy Now once again. Then you choose your payment method, enter your credit card details or PayPal details, then make a payment, and after that you'll be the student of our academy. You'll get all the bonuses, all the video masterclasses, and you can start learning how to make those wonderful cheesecakes. If you have any questions regarding the payment process, regarding the learning format, learning process, I don't know, any question, feel free to contact our support team using any messenger, which you see, the Facebook Messenger, the WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, any. Feel free to contact them using the number you see on the screen. One more pleasant thing is that we guarantee 100% refund in the first 14 days after the purchase in case our learning materials did not meet your expectations, which means that you can always have your money back if something goes wrong. The feedback, the instructor support is not working well, the recipes are not okay, you're not satisfied with the videos. In such case, you can have your money back. But I'm sure that you will not need this, because just look at how beautiful the works of our students are. Here are the pictures of real people, from real people who shared the pictures of their cheesecakes with us. This is what they managed to make at home, and just look at how beautiful their cheesecakes are. Let's have a look, and let's read some comments, some feedback. For example, the feedback from Abdullah on the classic cheesecake. This cheesecake was the most classic one and the best one as well. Thank you. This is the strawberry heart cheesecake I told you. It's outstanding. The recipe is super balanced. And it is a must-have recipe in any pastry chef's collection. Then we have a feedback from Dilana Gray-Lewis. She enjoyed making the cheesecake, interesting texture, interesting techniques. One thing I absolutely love about these recipes is that they are not very sweet. Yeah, this is an interesting, peculiar thing about my recipes. I don't put too much sugar inside. I like to balance the sweetness of the recipes, because normally sugar steals the taste and the flavor from your products. This is why I try to minimize its quantity in the recipes. It is not that easy, but most of my recipes are not that sweet. A few more pictures and several more words from our students. Let's read a comment on the speculoos cheesecake from Rafida. I especially enjoyed the crust very much, since it has a rich speculoos flavor to it. The caramel came out nice and thick when I made it. So here is the picture of Rafida's cheesecake. It looks absolutely gorgeous, fantastic work. And look at the texture of this strawberry heart cheesecake from Myanmar. Wonderful, fantastic. And I'm sure that you'll be able to make the cheesecake even better than this. As you can see, everything is possible with the feedback, with instructions, with the help from our instructors, with the videos from me, with the PDF. You will have no issues in making the cheesecakes like in the video, or even better. A few more pictures for you to get inspired, to understand that everything is possible in any kitchen. Those people had completely different pastry background, completely different equipment, ingredients, but still managed to create such beautiful cheesecakes. Many people think that they will not succeed. They think that before joining my course, but this is not true. You've just seen the proof that everything is possible with the help from our instructors, with our detailed feedback, with our detailed videos and PDF recipes. You will definitely be able to create those cheesecakes at home. Some people think that they will not find the right ingredients, but this is what the instructor support is for. Our instructors will help you to find the proper replacement or substitution from the markets or from what is available in your region, in your area, and you will definitely be able to use our recipes and make cheesecakes in your kitchen. Some people think that they will not have access to the required equipment, but the good thing is that the cheesecakes are kind of products which do not require too many fancy equipment, too many fancy tools. You need a whisk, a few spatulas, an oven, fridge. That's it. Maybe a spring form pan, and that's enough. You'll be able to create gorgeous cheesecakes in the most, let's say, in the smallest kitchen. You need a small oven. Even a toaster oven will work. So everything is possible if you have the desire and if you have the qualified instructors who will guide you and support you. Some people think that they will not have enough time to make all 5 cheesecakes during the course, but once again, this is not true. I told you earlier that you will have 12 months access to all the materials of the course. So definitely that's enough time to master those cheesecakes. Now you have 2 options. Option 1, continue trying to make cheesecakes on your own. Continue mastering them, learning how to make them using recipes from the internet, which are not tested, not proven. Continue following them, continue trying to find the good one which works, continue wasting time, money, ingredients, and getting disappointed over and over every time you fail. Or option 2, you join us, you take this journey with me, and you save energy, time, and money. In the end, you will definitely enjoy the process. You will learn how to make perfect cheesecakes to treat your family, friends, or clients. The choice is yours. Either you trust the professionals and get guaranteed results and lots of inspiration, or you watch this open class till the end, close the tab, and keep doing things the old way. You keep making the same mistakes, wasting time, wasting money, and getting disappointed over and over. I would like to repeat the offer once again. Today you're getting 80% discount on everything. Instead of paying $500 on all the materials that I mentioned, you are getting the 5 best cheesecakes course with 5 video recipes, with instructor support, with PDF recipes, plus 3 more video classes on tart preparation, plus 1 more bonus class for $99. You're getting the bonus class on the Oreo cheesecake provided you join the course until the end of the class. You still have a few more minutes to go, a few more minutes to join, so do not miss the chance. And I would like to remind you that we guarantee 100% refund in the first 14 days after the purchase. In case you're not happy with the learning materials, in case you think that they did not meet your expectations. Now, guys, the class is coming to an end and it is time you rate it. Please let me know, how would you rate the class? Type 1 if you did not enjoy, it was boring, not interesting, very little information, or type 10 if you enjoyed a lot, maybe something in between. Feel free to type any number from 1 to 10 to express your thoughts on this class. Okay, we have lots of number 10 answers. Thank you very much for support, for your feedback. I appreciate that a lot, and the whole team who worked hard to make this webinar happen, is also very happy. Thanks for your feedback. I invite you to follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get inspired by new ideas, to get news, to get new offers, and to see new creations from us. Feel free to follow us on all the pages or select the one which suits you best. And the Facebook page is also of there. International Culinary Academy is on Facebook too. I hope you enjoyed the Basque Cheesecake class, and judging from your answers, you really did. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the course. I would like to remind you that you still have maybe a minute to join the course and get all the bonuses. To get this bonus Oreo cheesecake class, you still have a minute to purchase everything for $99. I would like to remind you that it will be the 5 video classes on cheesecakes, 3 video classes on tarts, then 1 bonus class on the Oreo cheesecake, and all this with instructor support with the access to all materials for 1 year. You have the chance to get this for $99. 80% discount can be yours. And the total offer, the whole offer is valid for 24 hours. So if you need time to think, it's fine. You will still be able to purchase all the materials with 80%, with 67% discount. Okay, without the Oreo class, it will still be a good deal. It will still be a bargain. So do not miss the chance. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for your questions. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the course, to seeing your pictures and writing my feedback to the whole pictures of your cheesecakes and the cross sections. Have a good time. Have a nice day. Goodbye.